Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. If this is your first time tuning into our show, it is going to help you with your question career reality. And this show is for you if you are considering a career in the entertainment industry. Our guests will provide you with advice on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in the entertainment industry. Now, our guests on this show include Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony winners, reality TV stars, producers, directors, actors, singers, casting directors, talent managers, screenwriters, novelists, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on to infinity. If they're working professionally in show business, we target them down, stop them in their tracks, and we just have them on the show to give you the entertainment career advice that you need. And we make sure that our guests are at different stages of their careers, from professional, obviously, to beginner once in a while. So that means that we are definitely going to have someone on the show who will be able to help you with your show business career questions. Now, you can listen to any of our past guests by going to our archive page of the LA Talk Radio website. It is latalkradio.com. You just click on Channel 1, the link up at the top, Channel 1, and there's a drop-down box, and that will appear, and you just click our show, Question Reality, and that takes you directly to our archive page, and that's where you can listen to all of our shows. And we've been on the air since 2008, so we've got a ton of people on there that give great advice. And what I do is I include on that page the interview questions, some of the interview questions, so you can kind of scroll through there, and if there's a question that you wanted answered, you can check that out and see what interview you want to listen to. Now, our shows are also available to listen to or download on iTunes under the podcast section. And we're also on the famous website, Stitcher.com. So just go there, type in Question Reality Radio in the search box, and there we are. Now, if you want to find out about our future guests, you have to go to a different website, which is the official Question Reality website. And that address is questionrealityradioshow.com. questionrealityradioshow.com. That is also where, if you work professionally in the business and want to come on our show for an interview, you go there, and I think we have a contact page, I'm pretty sure. Go there, submit your information, and we will consider bringing you on the show. Now, we're booked 6 months to a year in advance, so I would start now to get on for next year, because we're about to start booking new guests any day now. I don't know what day it is, but any day now, and that would be for the winter season, January. Now, I also encourage you to download our free app for your Android or iPhone, and that way you'll be able to listen to all of the other exciting and informative shows that we have on LA Talk Radio. There is just a host that talks about every subject you can possibly imagine. Excellent host and great topics. So to download that app, go to the home page of the LA Talk Radio website, and the app is located at the bottom of the page. So just scroll down a little bit and you will find it. Now, as usual, every week, the excitement is there for the guest, and we have two exciting guests on the show today. Two. They are Selda Sahin. I sure hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. We will find out in a minute. Selda Sahin, she's a lyricist, and Gregor, who is a composer. And I want to give you the website. I think they're in the process of doing their website now, but I'm not sure if it's up, but it is seldaandderek.com, SELDAANDDEREK. Not sure if it's up, but it will be. They're also on Reverb Nation. So if you go to Reverb Nation, you can type Selda and Derek, and you can find them. So, and I know Selda is on Twitter under @SeldaNia. So @SeldaNia. So there you are, the connections. And at 5:30, very exciting, we are going to be playing a song from their latest CD. It's entitled The Storm. And I've listened to it, and it is so fantastic. I can't wait to hear it again. So that'll be around, 5:30. Not exactly at 5:30. It could be 4. It could be after. So you'll just have to stay with us. So we are going to talk to them in a couple minutes. Now, I do want to tell you about this latest discovery. Now, 2 cool words, the coolest words since peanut butter and jelly, and they are Julio Shampulio. I love to say that, Julio Shampulio. Yes, you heard it right. Now, more specifically, Mr. Julio Shampulio Romano, and he is the owner of Shampulio Hair Salon. The website is shampulio.com, and I discovered Julio Shampulio Romano through one of our beloved and favorite guest celebrity actresses, Eileen Gruba. And Eileen had posted a story on Facebook of how this man Julio had volunteered to help her completely free of charge with her hair care during a time of dire need when she needed hair treatment after her chemotherapy treatments. And, everybody knows I'm a sensitive soul, always out helping those in need, and I just gravitate towards generous souls, and I thought I would love to help him. So I reached out and I said, how can I help you, Julio Shampulio? How about some advertisement? So that is exactly what I'm doing. So if there's anything I can do to help him, this is the least I can do. So if you really want to spend your hard-earned money at a salon of a person who's truly deserving and generous and kind and just reaches out and tries to help anyone, please consider getting your hair cut, colored, or try any of his other services at his salon. So it is Shampulio, and the website is shampulio.com. And what's great about it is he has all organic products, everything natural. And this is a 1960s style beauty parlor, apothecary it's got a modern organic flair, so it's really hip and cool. And they're located at 4312 Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles, and that's in the historic Hellmouth district in Los Feliz. Really cool facility. And the great thing is they're offering 20% off of all of their organic products and color services for anyone who mentions this radio show. You can either say my name, Priscilla Leona, or I heard about you on the Question Reality radio show. So 20% off. And you have got to try, I'll just give you a little tip. You have got to try this product. It's all natural, handmade Calm cream, CALM cream, and it just makes you feel so calm, and it's like tingly, and it's just wonderful. And if you're in the entertainment business, you're pursuing a career in entertainment, who doesn't need a damn jar of Calm cream? Yes, we do. So go to the website, shampulio.com, tell him I sent you, and you'll get 20% off of everything. And this is such a wonderful man. You will love the whole experience over there. It just feels like you're visiting a friend. It's really, really a nice experience. So there you go. Without further ado, let's talk now to these 2 exciting people in the music business. Welcome, Selda and Derek.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes! Hey, we're Selda.
Hi.
Yay! Now, you two, we're doing this show remotely because you guys are currently, right now as we speak, you are in the recording studio, are you not?
We are. We're hoping that the backup, we're doing some vocals in the other room, and we're hoping it's not going to get too intrusive, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, let's just try it. Let's try it. Now, I understand you guys are pop artists, but my notes do say that you are currently recording pop and country music in Los Angeles and Nashville. So my first question to you is, are you here recording for a personal album or are you working for clients?
Well, we're mostly songwriters, and we're not the singers ourselves. So what we're doing out here in LA is recording some pop songs we have a fantastic singer in the other room who's going to be she's the voice for these particular songs. But the purpose of these songs is to be sold to other artists and to kind of forge relationships with artists and managers and producers and people like that.
So is the lady, we can mention her name. I mean, if she wants to be mentioned, we can certainly mention her name. I don't know her name, but is she, so are what you saying that you're currently doing like a demo? It's like a demo song? Because, I have a couple of singers, one particular, Andrea Miller, who does demo singing for Celine Dion. So is it sort of like that? Like she sings the song, it's an original song, and my friend Andrea will sing it, and then David Foster takes it over to Celine, and then she hears it and then sings it. Is it sort of like that happening?
It's a demo in the respect that that's the purpose of the song is to show the song to people and to both get people aware of the song and of Selda and me as writers. But it's not a demo in the sense that the quality is kind of a quick pass at recording it to communicate the song. The quality that we're doing in the studio and the producer we're working with, we're actually trying to get a product that is a very high quality finished product. So it can immediately be licensed, put in a movie, put in a television commercial. And then if an artist wants the song, he or she is going to inevitably, bring in their own arrangement, maybe do some tweaks to it. But we're coming out of this process, both what we do here in LA and what we do in Nashville, with very high quality recordings, ideally. So in that sense, it's different than a demo. But the purpose of what we're doing with these songs is really, it is similar to a demo because it's just showcasing our work.
Okay, so what's the process? You're doing this, so you write the song, and then now you're recording it. What do you do next?
Well, we're collecting, a list of industry folks. We have a lot of leads, people we meet at different events and stuff, and then we have to share the work with them. Another way that another avenue we're taking is building relationships with new singers. So if we find a singer who has some traction and has some exciting things going on, but maybe is not, at a huge, Kelly Clarkson level, it's someone that we can get in touch with, and maybe we can co-write with them and start to just become part of what they're doing. So that's one of the other approaches.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh my gosh. I just went to an event at CBS last night, and they had a singer named Christine Love. And of course, I've never heard of her, but she did the Whitney Houston song, I Have Nothing, I think it's called. Oh my God. Stopped me in my tracks. I could not believe it. I'm like, oh my God, I have to have you on my radio show, and I have to introduce you to some producers and stuff. I got to do something for her. And she's new. She just came from the Philippines, this beautiful girl who just moved here. So she's completely unknown, but my God, she has a great voice. So is that the sort of people that you're talking about that you would consider possibly, targeting to bring in and collaborate and sing your songs? Someone that has an awesome voice like that?
Of course. Absolutely.
Wonderful. And how would they get in touch with you? Would they go to your website? Would they tweet you? What would be the best way for them to submit stuff to you, like their demos?
We do have the website, which is up, and we're updating it as we speak, but we also have an email, which is on the website, which is just seldaandderek@gmail.com.
Wonderful.
That's Selda with an S, not Zelda. Everybody who grew up with the Legend of Zelda video game generation thinks it's Zelda. It's SELDA and Derek, DEREK.
I love it. All right. So you find these people to sing your songs, you collaborate with them. So I would assume that the next thing you do is to try to set up meetings to do pitches, correct? Is that
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, what do you do for your process, the two of you together? Do you always work as a team, or do you do things separately? Does one focus on this and one focus on that, or how does it work as a duo?
Well, we both have done some writing with other collaborators. I have a career in New York City writing for kind of Broadway type stuff, and I do that with another writing partner. And Selda has worked with some other writing partners, and she's done some theater stuff herself. But as far as the pop songwriting and the country, we're really a team for that. And then we'll take on other guests, other co-writers here and there, like I mentioned. But we're a team when it comes to standalone songs, pop and pop country.
Okay, so do you focus on just pop and pop country? Or do you do? I know you said you do musical theater as well, but is it more than that? Do you do jazz or R&B or soul?
Yeah, we do. There's definitely elements of all those things in what we do, but I think at the moment we're focused on kind of like radio friendly top 100 pop and pop country, and those other influences work their way into those things all the time. And if we'll take on different projects, like we had to write a song for a wedding. We got commissioned to write a song for someone's wedding, and then we ended up writing 2 songs for them so that the guy could pick which one he wanted to use. It was the groom to be who commissioned us, and yeah, we just wanted to hear what kind of music do they like. What did he? So he steered us, gave us a bunch of bands to listen to and a bunch of adjectives. So we're flexible and we try to write what needs to be written. I think that's really the answer. Is there's so many different situations that you can write a song for, and purposes. So you respond to what you're given. So if someone says to us, "Oh, we need an R&B song for this internet series to be our theme song," then we'll write it.
Now, what about this situation? Someone has written a song. It was a musician. He wrote the song. I guess he's composed it somewhat, but he needs arrangements. Like it needs to be arranged in a certain way before it needs to be recorded. Do you do that?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Most of what we've done recently is writing, and then we arrange our songs when we do stuff live. We work with musicians and arrange them, or we're working in a studio with a producer. But we have the skills to arrange stuff, and the stuff we've done in New York for theater stuff. That's a skill that we've used.
Okay, what about this scenario? So, for example, I'm about to produce a music video for an artist. Well, a friend of mine came up to me and said, he's not a professional singer or songwriter, but he wrote a book of poetry. He wants to promote one of the particular poems and convert it into a hip hop rap song because his end goal is to try to pitch it to PETA because it's about, saving the animals and the earth. He's environmentally conscious. He's a vegan. And I have just been presented with this challenge, not being a hip hop pop aficionado. So right now, for example, I am in the process of saying, how the heck am I going to produce this? And I'm like, what? What is my first step doing this? I mean, of course, I know how to produce a music video, but I don't know how I'm going to take this poem and turn it into, arrange it and do all that. So I would imagine my first step is to go find someone who does, hip hop and pop. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. And they'll be able to do that, right? Okay. All right. Yay. This is good. All right. So now I want to ask you, as far as you know, what was the most rewarding review of your music together? Like, I'm sure you get reviews. I mean, what did they say? Oh, Selda and Derek were spectacular. It was ethereal. It was this. It was that. What are the people saying? What are the fans saying about your work?
I don't like to. Well, first of all, I try not to focus too much on on reviews. But that sounds a little...
Well, if it's positive, wouldn't you want to focus on it? Wouldn't you want people to know how wonderful you are?
Well, Derek and I wrote the, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Derek and I wrote the score to it was a musical short film called Grind. And it's all pop music, but it tells a story. And it ended up, we can go into that later, but it ended up being sort of a big deal for us, kind of unexpectedly. And once the album got released and the movie got released, one of the things we got the most was it was just pop music. It was not meant to be musical theater. It wasn't telling a story in the way a song from Les Mis might, but it was furthering the story with pop music. And we got a lot of good feedback on sort of that element of what we brought to the pop music that made the story move forward.
Lovely.
That was a
good.
really ambitious undertaking to try and do that, to execute that score, but really keep it as standalone pop songs that also furthered the story. And I think we were satisfied with how that went. Like the reviews for that were really encouraging. But I really try not. I mean, I like after a show or during, when I'm seeing people listen to our stuff, I'm always like, it makes me happy if I see somebody clearly liking it or bopping along. But I try to keep a lot of the comments out of my ears because I just don't know how much you can even trust what they're worth. Someone can tell you they like it when they don't. Someone can tell you they don't like it when they're just, really having a bad day. So I just try to keep it, listen to the people that I really know and try and, what I'll do when I have a new song is I have people I really trust and I can read their face when I play it and I know what I need to work on. That's kind of how I like to get feedback.
Okay. So this short film, Grind, grindshortfilm.com, by the way. What stage is this in now? Is it in festivals? What is the process happening right now with that film?
We wrote it about 2 years ago, and then, is that right? About 2 years ago. And it did the short film circuit. We won a bunch of awards at, there's a bunch, I don't know them off the top of my head, actually. Honolulu.
Right.
And a whole bunch of festivals. And then the producing team made the decision, because we could have kept doing festivals, but we decided as sort of a group to say we want it online for free, because once you put it online for free, you can't submit it to festivals anymore.
Right.
So it did the festival circuit for maybe 6 or 7 months, and it did very well. We went to a few festivals, and it was a great it was a great experience for a lot of reasons. Certainly for Derek and me and our collaboration, but there's talk of turning that into a feature-length film that would be a musical, and we're certainly open to that. It would take a lot of time and energy and so I don't know where that is with the producing team, but we're certainly open to it.
So if someone asks you to compose for a short film, what exactly is your process, the two of you together?
Well, there's two different answers to that, because what we did with Grind was we composed the score to the short film, but it was songs. We wrote 5 pop songs, and then the score of the movie is is different than the songs that were in. How would you say that? Is that right? Mm-hmm. So we approached that writing-wise the way you would approach musical theater in terms of story. But the writing of the pop songs themselves, we approached like pop music. But writing the score to a short film, which Derek has done a little bit of, and we're both sort of dabbling in at the moment, that's just a different, Derek can speak more to that, but that's a different thing than what we did with Grind.
Yeah, just because Grind was pop songs, so that's like the exception. But if we're scoring a movie, well, we're doing a score for a short film back in New York, and I told the producer, I said, the guy who wrote, directed, and started it, and I said, come sit with me, let's block out 6 hours. I want you to sit with me and talk me through what you want, because I don't want to spend a lot of time doing something and then have you feel like you have to accept it, or then you're going to tell me to restart from scratch. I love to collaborate. I want someone to like be in the room with me and talk me through the moments. And then once I know where I'm going, yeah, then like I'll go off and I'll do some of the dirty work myself. But I love collaborating. So if I can have anybody who's got the vision of what they want, like even when Selda and I wrote the songs for that wedding, we went out with the guy, had a lot of wine, heard about his wife, heard what kind of music she likes, what she doesn't respond to. She's kind of cool, and she's kind of a cool hipster who wasn't going to get all sappy. So we had to do something that was really kind of going to be powerful and really cool, that she had a song for her wedding that was surprised upon her, but do it in a way that she'd like it. And that was a really fun assignment too. But I just needed to, and Selda too, we just needed to be steered and know what we're trying to do, because we feel like we can put ourselves into it no matter what. We're not offended if someone wants to really tell us what a particular project needs from their perspective when they're playing a different role, like producing or commissioning or something like that.
Okay, there are obviously a lot of teams or people that write music for various projects. What would each of you say would be a good reason why we would hire you as musical artist, composer, and lyricist over someone else? What do you bring to the table that's unique and different, or that you feel you could contribute that would be a little bit better or a little different?
Well, I think what I just said is probably the thing that I'm most proud of, that we like to collaborate. We like to, really, really, really see what the project needs and find a way that we can bring ourselves to that, but really make sure that we're not going rogue. And I think that actually, not only is that just polite and hopefully results in something that everybody likes more, but it's also exciting to us because it pulls us in new and exciting directions. So just collaborating, I think, is one of our probably best assets. And I think that we're also fast. And I think that sometimes people, go down a lot of rabbit holes, and we're pretty fast about saying, like, let's go left, go right, and let's commit to it. And I feel like there's so many ways you can go when you're creating, and there's so many ways that they can all turn out well. It's a matter of what principles you're applying when you go down that path. So a lot of times when people get stuck between decisions, you just pick something and then you commit to that path with the choices. And I think that's probably one of the secrets to being fast.
And so you get the script, you do a collaboration, you pump it out really fast, and do you submit things, say, for example, do you submit it in MP3 format, or do you have them come in to a recording studio and listen to the stuff? How do you do that so you can collaborate with the stuff you've done?
I mean, any of those. It depends on the situation. MP3, you need an MP3 to share with everybody. So you need that anyway. But in my opinion, bringing people in either to the recording studio or to a live performance, or honestly, we're also roommates, and we have people over to the apartment. But when we're back in New York, all the time to hear our stuff live, sung by people that are our friends and our kind of constant collaborators, because that's the way the songs are meant to be heard. Once you go through more steps, it changes, and it changes for better or for worse. But hearing it live, I think, is, in my opinion, the most exciting way to hear it, with the writers in the room, with a certain sense of intimacy. But that's almost never the most convenient way. So you need an MP3. Bringing somebody to the recording studio is awesome because it's a good experience if you haven't been there, or if you're just curious about what the process is. But it also is stressful because you're paying for the studio time. You want them to have a good experience. You want to make sure that they're seeing the best thing you're doing when you might not have time to show them the best thing you're doing. So every single thing you could think of is possible, but my favorite is live somehow, intimately live somehow.
Got it. Now, I understand that you wrote a song that for I guess, that's going to be performed in London by a West End performer, Gloria Onatiri. Tell us about that. That sounds exciting.
Wasn't that already performed?
That just happened.
Yeah, that just happened. She is a musical theater performer, and she was familiar with some of our writing from, I guess, we've done some theater stuff, so I think she knew about us that way. But I have an agent over in London, and he works with her, and he said, there's this girl, and she wants a original pop song, not a theater song. And he knows that that's the world that Selda and I really love to live in, as much as we also do love musical theater. But so then we talked with the girl. This was really fun because we Skyped with this girl whom we had never met, and just kind of talked about her life and what she wanted for the show that she was doing and what kind of song was missing from the set. And she said something, I want something about either fantasy or make-believe or something. And then Selda and I were in the car talking about it. And then we thought, well, fantasy and make-believe is very, it's nice, but let's do something really dirty and gritty about it. So we wrote a song called In My Mind, which is it's about a girl who's fantasizing about being with her friend's man, and she's thinking to herself, "There's no harm if I'm just going to fantasize in my head about this." So that's what we gave her, and it's a really poppy kind of Kelly Clarkson up-tempo song. It's kind of got a dark side to it, but it definitely fit what this young lady wanted.
Oh, so did she perform it already or record it already? You said it just happened?
She performed it a couple days ago.
Oh. And is it anywhere where we can see it? Is it on a website or YouTube or anywhere that we could check it out?
Well, it happened recently enough that they haven't had the videos out yet, but it will soon. And when it's out, we will put it on the website.
Lovely.
We're also out here in LA. We're going to record that song as well.
Oh, good. Oh, just with another performer singing it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you write and compose the song, you can have anybody sing it because it's yours. You own it, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And now I understand you've got some concerts coming up in Los Angeles. Is that true? Where are they?
It's actually not we have stuff coming out in New York.
When you just said that, I got really nervous because I wondered where I'm supposed to be.
That was it. That was in an email. It said concerts /coming up in Los Angeles is where it is. So that's what I got.
On this trip, because we're only here for a few days, and it's a busy few days, we were probably when that email got sent, we were supposed to do a show with 2 other artists. But the scheduling, we just didn't have time. We would have had to spend a lot of hours of rehearsal to make what we wanted work. So we decided not to do it on this trip. But we have a couple of shows coming up in New York. And then in January, which I know is far away, but it's as you know, we can't come back that often. In January, we're going to do really kind of an acoustic set. We don't know exactly which venue we'll do yet. We had a show at Rockwell back in April, and we're going to do another show at Rockwell sometime in the new year. I don't know when yet, but there's going to be a more intimate and acoustic version of a show sometime in January, which we haven't picked a date yet.
I love Rockwell. You have to let me know when you're going to be there, and I'll bring a little group to come see you. I love that place.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Love it. Now, we are way past the time for us to showcase the song today, so I want to get that. I want to play the song now, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about maybe you can give us some advice to the audience on pursuing a career as a lyricist and a composer, but we want to hear the song. But before we do, real quick, brief intro of the song, why it was written, if there's a story attached, et cetera, et cetera.
So this is one of the first songs that Selda and I wrote. We were in Tennessee, in a small town called Crossville, Tennessee, about 2 hours away from Nashville, and we were doing a thing there at a theater where we had to actually present another song that we had written at this benefit. So we're hanging out in this beautiful old barn with this really amazing little piano, and there was a storm that was coming to town, and everybody in this theater and everybody around was freaking out about how bad this storm was going to be. And Selda and I are thinking, what the heck is going on? But this better be something special. Sure enough, it was not much of a storm. But we wrote a song called The Storm, and we were just hanging out in Tennessee, and we put some of those things in the lyric, so hope you enjoy it.
Wow, well, we certainly will. Let's listen to it. Yeah.
Can I say one thing about it? So this is a recording that we have that's a lot. It's a very, very good quality live recording, but we're in the process of making a demo of that right now, actually in New York. But this is not the polished version, but it's a very high quality live version.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you said that. All right, let's listen to it. Exciting. I love the song personally. I hope everybody likes it. Let's listen to The Storm by Selda Sahin and Derek Gregor.
There's a storm that's coming in tonight. It's coming to stay. It's calling me to come outside and wash me away. And I know the man behind the bar, he offers a smile, 'cause we both know that I'll be here a while. So pour me just one more shot away from the weather. Let the smooth Tennessee whiskey soothe my mind. Across the bar, his eyes meet mine. We've been here before. He was asking me to take him home. He's not the one I'm waiting for. I have to decline the hand that he'll be holding is not mine. So pour me just one more shot away from the weather. Let the smooth Tennessee whiskey soothe my mind. In the smoke and sound, away from the weather. Let the smooth Tennessee whiskey soothe my mind. The music fades, the lights go down. The storm awaits outside. I turn my back, I close my eyes. So pour me just one more shot away from the weather. Let the smooth Tennessee whiskey soothe my mind. In the smoke and sound, away from the weather. Let the smooth Tennessee
I love that. That's great. Do I have permission to copy that?
Absolutely.
Oh, I loved it. I just love this song. It's so soothing and it's so mellow yellow. I love this song. Oh, I just love it. Where can we buy a copy? Where is it? Are you selling it, or where can we get it? Because I already have it. I get it for free. But where can someone buy it?
Well, we're in the process of making a recording, so it'll be available. I don't know, in a couple months. But if anybody wants to hear it in the meantime, just go to YouTube, type in The Storm, and Selda and Derek.
Or is it on Reverb Nation too?
Oh, it's on our Reverb Nation too.
Reverb Nation too? Okay. So, Selda and Derek, Reverb, I love it. Man, if that's an example of what your songs are. Now, wait a minute. Are you guys singing it? No, you're not singing it, right?
That was another gentleman singing by the name of Eric Michael Kropp, who's fantastic. And then Selda was singing the female.
Oh, go ahead, Selda. You sound so good. Oh my gosh. Now, Derek, you got to take a couple vocal lessons so you can do a duet with Selda, because she sounds so good. You need to be singing too. Love it.
I was on the piano, but when we have people like Eric that sing, the things we're blessed with is we have unbelievable singers.
Wow. Well, Selda was rocking it out, girl. I loved it. You sounded good. Now, obviously today is a totally different world of promoting than it was back in, say, prior to maybe the last 10 years, which I don't know how long Twitter and Facebook have been around. I'm going to say 10 years. Can you guys explain for the audience how important it is for a musical artist, a lyricist, a composer, anyone actually, to self-promote themselves on social media? Because I have actually run across a couple singers and a couple writers who don't feel that they need to do that. And I'm like, no, you have to. That is like the new way. That's like your business cards. That's how you network and promote. Maybe if they hear it from professionals like you, it'll encourage more people to promote themselves. Can you tell them how important it is to self-promote?
It's incredibly important. It's such an exciting time that we're in, where writers and artists can have such a platform by using all this media. And I think it's just such a blessing. So to be able to use YouTube as a place to have thousands of views of your work and stuff, it's such a great opportunity. You don't have to wait for a record label to get involved. So yeah, you should use all the tools you can to spread the word about your work.
Oh, a record label, honey, they're not even they don't do anything for you anymore. If you want to even have an A&R guy look at your stuff, the first thing they're going to look at is how many Twitter followers you have, how many Facebook followers you have, how many followers in general. They want you to have the fan following. They want you to have a CD all ready to go. Basically, they want you to do all of their work. And they just say, okay, well, we'll let you use our name. That's pretty much the way it is today. I mean, it really is so important for you to have an enormous presence on social media, as you well know. So what are some of your best tips on networking and marketing as a duo? There's a lot of singer-songwriters out there, or a lot of people that get together, and it's a different way than networking and marketing for yourself, a little bit different. Can you tell us about that? What your tips are?
Selda.
Well, I mean, we're marketing ourselves as a duo, but as a writing team. Like we're songwriters. We're not singer-songwriters. We're not the performers. And there is a difference when you're talking about social media with a songwriter and an artist. With an artist, I think that's a make or break thing. The social media is something that you can't. It is the world we live in, so you can't say I don't want to do that. You don't have an option. If you want to be an artist, especially if you are the face of something, you have to be on social media and you have to work towards it. But I think that while that seems like on some level selling out or cheap or something, it's also like it's a time now when you can connect with people that like what you're doing in a way that no one's ever been able to do before. And that's a really, really unique and valuable thing. But like, as far as Derek and I go, we need social media because it's the only way we have to get our stuff out there. We're not promoting ourselves. Again, we're not singers, but we need people to have access to what we're doing. And all anybody knows right now is social media. So if I meet some guy at a networking event at a bar, he needs to be able to find me on social media, or else he's not going to take me seriously. It doesn't matter that I'm not Selda Sahin, artist or singer. He needs to think that I have some sort of a following, or else it's irrelevant that I'm good, or if you think I'm good. So it's just, so I think, I guess, in terms of Selda and Derek, it's a brand, we want to create and stuff, but really it's also a brand that we want to use to meet people to sort of work with, not just listen, not just watch, but work with.
And as far as the actual like tips of ways to utilize that media, there's really fun, tactics that people employ. Like, you find artists that are similar to you, and you see who followed them on Twitter recently, because those are active users, and then you follow those people because presumably they're active and they like something that's similar to you, so then they're going to follow you. So if you can just go online and Google ways to maximize the potential of social media, I think that's just a fun thing, and that's one such technique. For us, I think a presence on YouTube with great singers who have their own following is a really, really important approach. So we find in New York, we find some Broadway people who have 50, 100,000 views on YouTube videos, and we say, let's sing a song of ours.
I love that. I love that tip. That's a great tip. Absolutely. I love it. So that everybody listen to that. You find people who are similar and then check out. Oh, I love that tip. Oh my God. No, we only have a couple minutes. I want to know separately, what is the best and worst career advice you've been given?
Ooh.
We'll start with Derek or Selda, either one.
The best, the worst. I think the best is definitely don't try and figure out where your career is going to go and how it's going to go. You just have to know what kind of principles are guiding you, and you just have to kind of keep moving forward in a way that's smart, like not burning bridges and talking crap about everybody and, obsessing about the people who don't like your work. Those kind of things, if you steer clear of that, you never know where it's going to go. You might end up in Alaska writing, symphonies with some guy in his basement who pays you $1 million a year. Who knows? You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
But you just have to kind of just trust it and find the things that you can control and commit to those. The worst advice, I don't even know. I think I've tuned it all out. I don't even think I remember.
Good. Worst piece of advice: don't get a 40-hour-a-week job. Probably.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah. I was going to say almost exactly what Derek said, which is I can't think of what I would say is the worst advice, because I think that you can't hold that, because it's going to hold you back if you're worried about this piece of advice that didn't work, or you're wondering if it's going to work at some point or if they were right. Which is related to what I think is the best advice I've ever gotten, which is and it's sort of two-tiered, but you have to surround yourself with people that inspire you, and never be, and these are related things, and never be the smartest or best person in the room, because you'll never go anywhere that way.
Mm-hmm. You got to be flexible, open, hip, cool, have a hip, cool vibe, but yeah, be serious and follow through. Absolutely. I am going to refer that singer to you guys, Christine Love, by the way. I think you guys would love her. When are you coming back to LA? Because I want to have you on the show again, but I want to have you come into the radio station. You're coming back in January?
Looks like we're going to be back in either December or January. So we'll definitely let you know. We'll send you an email.
Yeah. We'll have you on, and maybe we'll do like a live performance. Ooh, that would be
be fun. we'd be there.
Woo! All right. And then maybe you'll have another song for me by then, too. We can play another one of your songs. Wonderful. Okay, so check out their songs. They got quite a few songs on Reverb Nation. So go to reverbnation.com, and it's Selda and Derek. And I assume they're on YouTube. They just said that. And Twitter. Now, Twitter is Selda Neo. Derek, are you on Twitter? Do you have a Twitter name?
I'm on with my musical theater writing partner, but I don't have my own account now.
All right, so just reverbnation.com, Selda and Derek. Wonderful. Oh my gosh, you guys are only here a couple more days. It's a shame. I wanted to see you play, but when you're in Rockwell, absolutely, I'll promote it. We'll have a great time. I'll bring a little group over. And I want to thank you guys both for coming on the show, and I wish you the very best with your careers. Who knows? I might be calling you to write some stuff for my films. You know, I produce films, short films, music videos as well. So might be calling you. You might be able to help us out with one of our projects. Too bad I didn't know you. I'm one of the producers on a feature film, and we were looking for a good lyricist and composer last year. Didn't know you. But now you're at the top of my contact list. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, guys. And say goodbye to your fans separately. Derek and Selda, say whatever you want to say.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to The Storm.
And thanks for having us, Priscilla. This has been awesome, and we're looking forward to meeting you at some point.
Yeah.
Yes, Selda. Selda, I wanted you to sing. Don't you dare say you're not a singer, girl. You can sing. I love your voice. I want to hear more from you. All right, sweetie. Thank everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Question Reality. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.